Once upon a time, there lived a girl called Tamara in the village of Ajile. She lived with her parents and two siblings called Nara and Amara. Every morning, the villagers went to the stream in the outskirts of the village to fetch water, wash plates, clothes, and also fetch water for cooking and drinking. That was the routine in the village. Tamara was 19 years old and she often went to the stream to swim a lot. Sometimes, when others had gone back home, she would remain behind swimming and sunning herself like a lizard. Her brother and sister often called her a reptile jokingly, and she would laugh and they would all joke about it. One day, when everyone had left the stream, Tamara remained behind swimming. As she swam towards the middle of the stream, she suddenly turned towards the bank and noticed that a young, handsome man was sitting under the shade of a tree beside the stream. She was shocked to see him. Ah, she was actually shocked to see him there. She did not remember having seen or met anyone like him in the village before. Almost everyone knew each other in Ajile, and so she was really surprised to see him. She swam out of the water and smilingly walked to stand at the bank of the stream near where she had kept her things. The young man stood up and walked up to her. He greeted her with a very dazzling bright smile, and she responded likewise. The smile made the young man look more handsome than ever. Within a few minutes, they were already conversing and asking one another about themselves and getting more acquainted with one another. At the end of the day, it was getting dark when they parted with a promise to meet the next day at the stream. The next day, Tamara hurriedly went to the stream to meet the young man who told her his name was Ojekudo, but to her surprise, Ojekudo was not there. There were many people and she scanned the place with her eyes, but was nowhere to be found. She felt sad at not seeing him and went about doing the daily chores she had gone to the stream to do. She washed clothes and plates and spread them on the grass to dry. After that, she went back into the water to bathe. She had just finished bathing and preparing to go home when she felt the presence of someone around and looked up to find it was Ojekudo. He was standing far from where she was. When Tamara looked around, she found that there was no one about but herself by the stream. A shiver ran down her spine and she looked up to see him standing beside her. "How are you, Tamara?" he asked breezily, and she felt another shiver run through her. "I'm good," she said, and moved to pick up her things. "Where are you going?" he asked. She turned and replied, "I'm going home, of course." "Wait," he commanded. "Sorry, I was late," he added apologetically. Tamara calmed down now and smiled. "I've been waiting for you. When I did not see you, I thought you didn't want to come," she said. "But I'm here now," he replied, smiling in response. "You made me shiver and I became afraid," Tamara said, looking at him shyly. "I'm here now to protect you, and no harm can come to you," he said like a small god. That was it. Both Tamara and Ojekudo spent days together, and people got to know Tamara often met a young man by the stream. Soon, West got to her mother and father and they found out about it. They asked Tamara who the young man was and where he had come from, because no one knew him in the village. It was obvious he was not from their village because no one knew him. Tamara told them his name was Ujekudo, but she did not know where he came from. From that day, Tamara's parents tried to find out about the boy and the village Ojekudo had come from to visit their own daughter by the stream side almost every day. By now, the two were inseparable. They would hold each other's hands, stare into each other's eyes, and laugh, their voices ringing very far. It was obvious they were both in love. Tamara did not care where he came from as long as the handsome young man loved her and she loved him in response. She knew he cared about her and protected her. That was all right with her. But her parents and siblings were worried about it. Her parents asked different people in the village about the young man, even from neighboring villages, but no one knew him at all. Finally, when they were afraid that something dangerous might happen to their daughter, they talked to Tamara to stop seeing him, and she refused. Her parents decided to consult the oracles as was done in the olden days. The seer told them clearly that Ojekodo was from the water world and not a human being as they thought. Shocked, her parents panicked, but the seer told them not to worry, that on a K market day she will go to the stream with them to prove it. She said Ojekodo meant no harm to Tamara, and so they should not worry, they should relax. So on a K day towards afternoon, when everywhere was quiet and there was no one at the bank of the stream except Tamara and Ojekudo, her boyfriend, the seer and Tamara's parents, set out to the place. Tamara's father held a very sharp cutlass in his hands in case of emergency, and on getting to the stream, as soon as Ojekudo sighted them, he wanted to disappear, but the seer blew a powdery substance into the air and he could not vanish anymore. The seer walked close to the two lovebirds. She sprinkled the powder on Ojekodo's body. The unsuspecting Tamara began to query them why they were disturbing their peace and moments together. The seer pointed to Ojekodo, and Tamara turned to see that Ojekodo's legs had changed into that of a fish. "What?" she exclaimed, horrified. The seer was chanting something while Tamara stood in fright. She could not believe her eyes. Her father brought out the sharp cutlass to strike it at Ojekodo, the fish part of him, but Tamara cried out, "Please, father, don't kill him. Please, don't kill him. Let him go." Ojegudo was wriggling on the ground, half fish and half human. He was talking to Tamara. "Please, my love, don't let them kill me," he pleaded. "Throw me back into the water and let me go. I loved you. That was why I kept coming daily to see you," he said. Tamara, shocked at what he was saying, kept crying and pacing, not knowing what to do as she looked on. At last, she summoned enough courage because she knew if she wasted time, Ojekudo might be killed. So she began to drag Ojekudo's half-fish body towards the river, towards the stream. As soon as his body touched the water, he disappeared and she could not see him anymore. Tamara was crying. Her parents and the seer were able to talk to her reasonably, and they led her back home. It dawned on her that Ojekodo was a spirit. That was why he always came when there was no one in the water side. Why had she not thought about it before? From that day onward, Tamara never saw Ojekodo again with her naked eyes. She was sad at losing him and all the love they had shared together, but it was better they parted ways because they were not from the same world. She was thankful her parents took the measures to save her, otherwise, she wondered how it would have all ended. That is why it is not good to date someone you do not know their background and where they come from. Always find out about the person you meet for safety's sake. That's the end of the story. Please like the videos, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.